more Koreans back here, but MC is on top of his game. And the bottom right, in the pink,
MC.
It's a manly color.
Indeed. What is pink if not a worn-out red?
Over here in the upper right in the orange.
Pixels FanTaSy.
It's like, oh.
Gotta be MC, crap.
That's exactly it.
MC and FanTaSy. I'm doing quotations with my hands.
Indeed.
Yeah, that was for you, Ortosis.
Thanks. Well, anyways, Catalina.
Big map.
Yeah, Protosses generally don't like this map for this matchup because of those drop areas and whatnot. But MC, I'm sure, has some sort of plan on here.
MC
the type
might
player,
like this map with some of the ways he plays.
He is like exactly the type of player for whom map balance doesn't really exist as much. Like he can always plan a way around.
It's sort of like
on a map.
It's sort of like SOS.
Yeah.
SOS.
Yeah,
it's really tough to say if this map's favored for him because he's probably going to do something so weird. It's funny too because MC's just wins off these engagements. I think for a lot of StarCraft players, one of the hardest parts is understanding when you can win a battle.
Yeah.
Even when you get very good players, occasionally you'll see, even in the highest level tournaments, they both engage, and it's not clear to the player who's losing if he's really losing.
Yeah, it sometimes takes a minute, and then you're like, uh-oh.
And, you know, the way damage is distributed in a battle, when one player starts to lose, the damage and amount of units he's losing starts to go up exponentially.
Yeah,
as one side is just getting smaller and smaller, so therefore the targets are reduced.
It snowballs really quick, basically. By the time that a lot of players can see that they're losing the battle, they're getting crushed.
Yeah. And MC is somebody who, the moment he sees an army and the way it's positioned, there's moments we'll see him do this all the time. He looks at it and he says, I got it. If I go right now, this very second, and engage perfectly, I'll win. And that's pretty crazy. It makes me think of like Moon in Warcraft 3.
Okay.
A lot of people would say like you can't really learn from when Moon engages because he'll actually just see these situations that most players would never engage into.
Yeah.
But he just micros so perfectly.
Yeah. MC's always been known for having just tip-top control. And
it was funny how he won that too, because it's a lot like when we were seeing MC win back in the first year of GSL.
Oh, absolutely.
With his Sentry Immortal pushes.
He actually hasn't changed that much, to be perfectly honest with you, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Which is why I oftentimes predict him to lose matches, because he's like, the thing is, he keeps up with the metagame. He knows what's going on, and he knows how to beat it with like strategies and styles that look dated and look old. And the thing is, like, there's almost no one that can actually do that.
Yeah.
But he is definitely the guy who can. And look at that. Ooh,
nice
that's a
place.
good
scout. Oh my God! Okay, I thought he was going to get away for a second.
It's even okay that he lost. So the fact that he saw Stargate is so unbelievably important. Now he can defend perfectly against Oracles. And, you know, if you don't, then you just lose. Like, if an Oracle gets in and you don't have defense in a mineral line, the amount Protoss is ahead from there is almost impossible to come back from. So, very good scout there.
Well, it seems that FanTaSy is prepared for that. He's got his Marines not at the entrance of his base. He's ready for an Oracle to come in somewhere and get that. I think he's going to put that Widow Mine right over here, in the worker line, in the hopes that the Oracle will fly right into that.
Yeah.
He might want to put 1 or 2 SCVs over there to draw the Oracle in, and he's going to use the SCVs popping out of there to do just that.
Now, this is the new trend of Widow Mines, is you put them behind the dish on that.
So it's not quite visible?
Yeah, because you can see Widow Mines otherwise. See, he didn't see it, and that's it.
Peace!
And now he's way far behind. That's brutal.
This is something we've seen, actually, this technique of hiding stuff behind the angle of the animation.
Yeah.
It actually dates all the way back to StarCraft 1.
Yeah.
But it's just really rarely used. Here we see it again here. Look at that.
Yeah, that's when that geyser's done, you won't be able to see that either. In fact, you already can't. Because that's like you're staring at ground as you fly in with an Oracle. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we see those camera hotkeys start to get used by Protosses, because this has actually become an issue where Oracles are doing less and less and less
Oh, you mean the rotation?
Yeah, the rotation button on
yeah.
your keyboard is not in a good place. So, like, I've never even played with it. I'm sure Jack Attack could tell me, but I'm sure that you could put that hotkey somewhere where, you know, you can actually just, like, do a quick turn, because it's not hard to see a Widow Mine that's burrowed, because it shows that little dent in the ground.
But it's funny, because when so much stuff is going on, one of the last things you're going to do is actually
I would say not
loop around a corner and just see if you can see an irregularity.
I agree with you, except for exactly a build like this, where like he doesn't have anything going on except this Oracle, right? So he this would be a situation where you just glance and you're like, oh, okay, I see where he's hiding the Widow Mines. I think it would be worth it in that case. It takes a couple seconds, but I mean, we see how far behind he is from not doing something like that.
It's pretty painful when I mean, no matter what race you are, but when you're doing a strategy like MC, you spend the entire, first about 7 minutes of the game getting that Oracle, sending it over there in the hopes that you can get some SCVs, and if not, at least control the Terran and continue to scout, and instantly it dies. I mean, you're so behind.
It's brutal. You'd never want that to happen. Like, even if they have Marines everywhere, that Oracle will scout for you for a long time. It will detect for you. It will tag things.
Sure.
It will even fly in at various points to just kill SCVs randomly.
Now,
so
he does not see the blink being upgraded here, although he has to assume something's going on. There's lots of stalkers being made now.
Certainly. Quite right about that. You see 4 stalkers and 3 more gates on the way. What else could this be but blink?
Yeah.
No, it's just a stalker build. Just making stalkers, I don't know.
I like stalkers. They're good units. Yeah. Okay, Fantasy's actually moving out now. Now, with Blink, you got to be careful, because, especially with MC, he just tends to win his engagements quite nicely. And Blink's done here. This army's returning. He might try to Blink on top of it. And he does do just that.
Yeah, he's
oh my God,
really
nice! Getting those 2 Marauders. That was so good.
Yeah, it was.
A second bunker coming down here. But there's a lot of different ways that MC can sneak into Fantasy's base. And this is a good follow-up. This is a good plan B here.
Yeah.
Considering that first Oracle was shot down. He's sticking to his guns. He's going to stay aggressive. We do see also a lot of Protosses expand behind this. Since they aren't... Ooh, that was close.
It looks like instead of expanding, he's going double forge, which is another option. But it's a little bit scary, right? Because he's going into double forge, he's going to Colossus. The Colossus is a little bit late. He's got to do some containment with this for a while. He basically has to keep Fantasy back and scared, because, like, in a completely straight-up fight in, you know, another minute or 2, Fantasy would crush.
Yeah.
But once he gets Colossus out, once that 1-1 finishes, then suddenly MC's going to be in a nice spot.
Okay, the medevac's coming down here now. And we have another engagement here. He's got to be careful. They have Stim now, which makes Blink a bit less effective. And this is going to try to come in here. Now, there is an Oracle here. I don't believe there's much else there.
Oh, Cannon is warping in.
Oh my God!
Oh, man. That's brutal.
Damn.
Wow. 6 probes going down. That'll probably be it from those 2.
Fantasy pushing out here, too. So far, MC having a tough time. Fantasy really getting in his face here.
He hasn't gotten the damage done that he really needs as of yet. Still, there's plenty of opportunities, right? He's about to have a Colossus. 1-1's going to be done pretty soon here, and he has a good amount of Blink Stalkers. So MC's still okay. He still has his potential in this game. You know, obviously we can look at the supply and notice Terran is higher. He's got what he wants. He hasn't really taken damage. The tech of MC is a bit slow, but we'll see what MC can do. He makes magic in engagements a lot of time.
Well, the Observer saw all that. MC is going to have to win in one big battle with this army, because he is powering hard, man. Just 2 bases, upgrades, Colossi, gates. And there's going to be a game where Fantasy expands or quicker, which means that MC just has to win with 1 big attack. If MC doesn't do something in the next maybe 4 minutes here, this game is economically over.
Yeah, economically he's going to be in a lot of trouble, as you say. I wonder if he starts 2-2. I think he does. Like, 1-1 is not, like, really a very good timing.
If he goes 2-2, then he's going to have to sit back a little bit longer.
Ooh.
Oh!
That hurts.
Not
as much
Wasn't a group of stalkers.
Yeah. But look, like, upgrades are so important in this matchup that maybe he uses those to come back despite the really late third. Like, this is, you know, you almost always will have a third by now. But I guess it was slowed down by both players because of the aggressive opening here of MC. But it looks like MC just wants to go for a 1-1 timing attack, which isn't very common, but it's MC, so he knows how to do it.
He's going to come around now. FanTaSy is going to the main. Now, we saw that he missed it the first time. Be a little bit tougher to pull this off this time. Oh, my God. Oh! He actually got that off. Okay.
And the other one actually hits one of the gas probes. So that could have gone terribly badly for him, but it didn't. So
he's going to attack up over here. This is, well, let's see how he actually does with this. He needs to get those Zealots in the front for sure.
Some very good Viking hits there.
Yeah.
Good concave at the top of the ramp. Looks like MC does have to back up.
Yeah, I don't think he can get up in there.
I don't think MC can possibly kill him right now.
Is he going to try to come into the main and blink up there or something?
I don't think so. I think that's really dangerous. Like,
well, then he can't really utilize his Zealots or...
Yeah, the sentries as well.
Now, this is something that could mess up for FanTaSy here. He's pushing out, and he's got a drop going on. That means he's got a smaller army overall.
He needs to keep a really defensive position.
Oh, you know what? There's a chance MC wins this by just busting through.
Absolutely. That's like, I think that's the plan, especially when he sees these two medevacs, because these two medevacs are game-ending for MC. Yeah. Like, they're going to be able to do so much damage. So he has to do a counterattack, I would say. Oh, he actually...
Oh, my God. Okay. So it's... now, he did delay the third base from being landed, although we see no signs of a third base here for MC at all.
That is a problem.
I guess he could push across the map again and try to make it lift. I mean, it is 166 supply to 159. MC with just the slightest lead.
There's so many problems, though, with MC's position, right? Because 2-2 started for FanTaSy, and he does have his third, even though it was delayed a bit. But MC has no third and no 2-2 started. So he's actually just sitting here on 1-1 Colossus Stalker. I don't think he's going to have another opportunity to really get aggressive and have a chance to win unless FanTaSy like messes up in his micro somehow.
And I don't know if that's the player that would mess up with micro.
Yeah,
FanTaSy.
he's very
he's
strong.
Pretty good. I mean, these guys, as much as we hype MC's micro, FanTaSy is right up there with him.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You know, MC, he's sitting back. I really appreciate about MC more recently where he will fall back and try to play a macro game after certain timings that he has tried out fail.
Okay, we have the Stalkers coming up here now, and a nice warp, and he might try to blink underneath these medevacs and just pick them off. And there we go. Nicely done. And that was a bad trade there for FanTaSy. MC came out way on top there.
You're very right. He lost like 20 supply there. That was actually very good for MC.
Yeah.
That's exactly the type of thing he needs FanTaSy to do. And you know what? MC, he's fighting right back into this, really. You know, his main is almost mined out, which is kind of a pain, but that means he doesn't have to make probes for his third. He can just send the main probes there, which allows him to get his supply a bit higher.
He's actually going to go push the third here.
Yeah.
And I don't know if FanTaSy's really getting any good angles. Nice shots there on the Vikings, by the way. In fact, he can blink right under that with those Stalkers again, and that's going to take out so many Vikings. That's going to give the Colossi a lot more power on the map.
This engagement has gone very well for MC so far, but look at this. The Vikings going back after this Colossus. Only one Colossus left over here. The power of Stimmin Marauders and 2-2 really showing itself.
Yeah, only just now that last Colossus is picked off here. But there's a lot of Stalkers here, and unfortunately, it's still not enough. Those upgraded Marine Marauder.
No, certainly not. And
we see Zealot Archon, you know, the fallback plan after the Protoss armies max out. The easiest way to go is Zealot Archon.
Yeah, indeed it is. But in this case, I don't think it's going to be able to work. We're going to have +3 attack done. Ghosts are already out. He kept most of his medevacs alive there. And MC's just sitting here on 2 base. He doesn't have any Colossus. He doesn't have any Psy Storm. His splash damage basically is not strong enough to deal with a big Bio Ball.
Well, FanTaSy moves down now towards the center. He's expanding again. I feel like we're slowly seeing MC run out of options.
Yeah. Look, he's started another Colossus. He realizes, oh, God, like, Zealot Archon can scrappily hold a couple attacks if FanTaSy doesn't wait in macro a bit. But as soon as he hits, like, a certain amount, of units, a certain supply, that Zealot Archon is not going to cut it. So he's trying to get back into his Colossus tech. If he can get up to 3 Colossus again, maybe he can do something, but this is looking fantastic for FanTaSy.
This should be pretty doable here from FanTaSy. From here on out, he's going to come down now, and he might as well land those Vikings since there is nothing to deal with in the air. Nice EMPs. He's going to completely obliterate those Archons. He's got to get him up the ramp. One goes down.
Oh, man.
He needs to get those other 2 far, far away.
Well, it's not going to happen. It looks like those Vikings pick up immediately when they see this Colossus. Going to be able to go ahead and take that out in a matter of seconds. Probably doesn't want to land him here, though. I would say just get out of here, regroup, and you're fine.
I can't believe he didn't target that one Archon.
I think it was just
too much going on. Oh, he tried for a second, though.
All right, so, I mean, MC, he picked up a few good unit kills there at the end. And he is going into 3-3, which I actually think is a very good choice for him here, because, I mean, if he's going to win, it's going to be over a bunch of fights like this, during which 3-3 is going to be very important.
MC is continuing to push, man. I guess he's saying, well, there's a lot of Vikings there. I could just try to attack him with Zealot Archon. And he decides to back up now, regrouping.
I think he's looking for any edge he can get.
A little bit in the... he's been in a little bit of a disadvantage for most of this game. But I like the way he's handling it. You know, frankly, FanTaSy's had to be very careful throughout this entire game.
Yeah, yes.
One misstep and MC would have won.
It's very true. MC is like that. So the thing is, MC is not. I mean, FanTaSy is not really misstepping at all. He's taken his 4th base. He's landed and run. Landed his Vikings when needed. He's run when needed. Like maybe there was that one over engagement in the main base, which really helped MC quite a bit. But other than that, I think he's played this really quite beautifully. So if he just continues on this macro path, how does MC get a 4th base? Like, I guess you have to take that one in the middle.
You might as well, because you're probably going to be poking into the Terran's base constantly. If you took the one at the bottom left, I think you're going to lose to FanTaSy with medevac drops, most likely.
So if that's the base that he's going to take, you know, that's... The thing is, FanTaSy can poke into that and drop into the main base still very quickly. So I'm just very worried about MC here. I think that FanTaSy has got him exactly where he wants him.
I think all FanTaSy has to do is max out and then basically go for the kill. Get the EMPs off with the Ghosts and just stem and micro and win. So 2 Colossi out right now. More than enough Vikings to deal with that. And now note that there's not a lot of Stalkers in this army. The Archons can't really help as much with well-controlled Vikings.
Very
you basically just shoot down the Colossus, avoid the Archons, and when the Colossi are dead, you go in, you win. Yeah, you make them hit the G key twice, they leave.
It's a good strat.
It's a good strat.
I think that's what we're going to basically see. But you know what? Psystorm is just finishing. Where are his High Templars? He only has a couple of them there. Doesn't want to put too many eggs in that basket. Hey, if he hits a good Psystorm or even 2, then...
That could be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, EMP there on
good
one.
EMP. Oh, actually, these Archon's in a pretty good place. Oh, no, this is not quite...
No, this is going to get...
It's not quite doing
completely
it. Wait, we actually have Zealots from
whoa.
Oh, my God. Well, I guess that Violet's 3-3 also, but... Yeah, that was a really good flank by MC. I didn't notice those Zealots coming in from the top. That was actually really big. Yeah, that's actually how he won that engagement, is the full Zealot surround.
Keep in mind that there were a lot of Vikings killed back there. So Colossi production can start up again and actually be a real threat here on the map. And there's one now saying, let me make this possible for him to lose. Let me come down here. Okay, he backs up. Definitely don't want to lose that Colossus.
You know, it still looks like FanTaSy should be able to take this game without too much hassle, but you've got to hand it to MC on how damn good he stays with all the travel and everything. It's like just so crazy.
Well, I think this is the tipping point.
Yeah.
There it is. GG. Okay, so 1-1. Nicely done there by FanTaSy.
Yeah. Really impressive by MC. Like, yes, well done by FanTaSy. He won that game. He gained the lead by killing that first Oracle and basically never let that lead go away. But the fact that MC fought on as well as he did just goes to show how good this guy truly is.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. With the weird strats he does, the amount he travels, how he hasn't had a proper training team Well, I guess he had one in Europe for a little bit, but, like, you know what I mean, right? He
Oh,
just,
of course.
It's not
Well,
like a lot of these guys that are in Kespa teams and stuff.
You know, we talk about team houses, we talk about how to learn, and a lot of that is really for your average top player.
Yeah.
You need to be in a team house, for instance. You need to play X amount of hours every day, all this stuff. But I feel like MC is the example of the guy that actually has so much natural talent. He has so much ability that he is allowed to be the exception to those rules.
Yeah, in a certain way, you're right.
I mean, this is a guy who's traveled more than I think basically every pro gamer.
I think the only person that could hold a candle is Hyun.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Hyun too.
But
I think
MC's been
MC
around even
overall,
longer, so.
yeah, a little bit more. And he still has results. Most of these players get fatigued from traveling that much.
Yeah. I
and
feel great fatigue from how much I travel.
And here we are again. This guy is just so good. But he may have met his maker here with FanTaSy. Let's see what happens.